Good morning, one and all. How's everybody? Good. Okay, so Moxi Monday today. So major tenet of your CRM, and one of the things that is going to help your business extensively is taking your marketing of yourself from a passive method of marketing to an active method of marketing. Okay? What does that mean? What do you guys think that means? I'm open for suggestions and comments.
Passive to inactive.
Passive to active.
Touching base with everybody.
Consistently.
Okay. You're on the right track. Here's what I'm reaching for, okay? Passive marketing is the type of marketing that in order for me to see your marketing, I have to come to your site. I have to go to your social media, or I have to be connected to you on your social media, or I have to follow your website or something along those lines. That's passive. Requires me to come to you. What a CRM does for you, and one of the major tenets of a CRM, is it puts you in charge of marketing to them, and it puts your message in front of their face, actively, not passively. Okay? Does that make sense? Major difference between those two. If I want to see something that Danielle's doing, I've got to go look at her site. What we need to get to the point where Danielle is delivering the message directly into my inbox or into my view in some way, shape, or form. That's what the CRM does for you, okay? In order for that to be effective, what do you think has to be in there to begin with? All of the people on the planet who know who Danielle is, right? Or for you, or me, or anybody. You have to have your people loaded into it, okay? And a lot of people are like, the first thing I say as I coach new agents is, well, I don't know that many people, or I'm not very well connected, or I'm just a stay-at-home mom, Megan, or something along those lines. You know more people than you think you do. And that's what we're going to talk about and explore today, all right? So, and what we're going to do today is the various methods by which you can source all of the people on the planet who know who you are and who you know, and then in a quick and easy way to export them out of other systems and import them into your CRM, so then you can start actively marketing to them. And once we get them in there, then the active marketing that we will do will come in the form of a number of different things. Announcements, subscriptions, campaigns, listing announcements, holiday greetings, all of those things that will take place that help you stay connected with your target audience and them to stay connected with you. All right? So, as an introduction, I'm going to play a very brief video, just kind of overall big picture of contacts and how to navigate through the system here. Everybody hear it okay?
Open the My People screen. You'll see all of your people at once. Let's take a look at the ways in which you can interact with your people. First, in the upper right-hand corner is the Add People button. This allows you to add people directly to Moxi Engage. Remember that Moxi Engage is connected with your emails. Anyone you add using the Add People button will also show up in your email's contact section. At the top of the screen, you can search, filter your view, and even make changes in bulk, like adding to a group, campaign, or system category. And you can export a CSV file or even mailing labels. You will also find the Categorize wizard here. All newly added people within Moxi Engage will be added to your uncategorized section. Use the Categorize wizard to quickly move your people into the section that best describes them. Are you working with this person or hope to work with them soon? Select Client. Are they a current buyer or seller, or someone you want to make sure you're including in your marketing? Select the option that best suits this person. Spot people you're working with at a glance by looking for color-coded system-assigned categories, and even the most recent activity You can also use the robust filter menu to sort just those people you wish to focus on. From the menu, you can drill down to a specific sales flow zone. Here I can select marketing and just see the 8 people I've placed into the marketing zone. If your brokerage has Moxi talent, you'll be able to filter and view the individuals in your talent pipeline. You can also quickly see your current and past clients, people who need your attention, and individuals identified as likely or highly likely to list if your brokerage utilizes insights. On the right of the menu, you can view people by group, identify who is subscribed to a campaign, neighborhood news or listing announcements, as well as those who are not yet subscribed to these. And last but not least, you can use the lead sources filter to find people that have been added to your contacts through your agent website, Zillow leads, or other lead source your brokerage has included. In my account, I can view people who have communicated with me via my website or have signed themselves up for neighborhood news. You have now taken a tour of the My People screen. Be sure to check out other help documents and video tutorials to see what else you can do in Moxi Engage.
Okay. Any significant insights there from anybody?
I feel like you covered all that information.
Good. I'm glad. All right, hang on a sec, folks. Let me get into my, for some reason. All right. Sorry, thought I had this open already. Okay, so now that we've talked about that, now let's talk about where do you guys have potential sources of contacts that already exist that you can tap into to be able to import into here. Thoughts on that? Your phone, great. What else? LinkedIn, email, okay, all three. What else? Anything else? Facebook is a potential. Social media, all of your social medias are potential, although it's hard to get email addresses out of those. Okay. But it's true. What else? Maybe like for you, previous CRM, somewhere where you've came from and are now coming to? No? Okay. So just by the way, if you use a third-party CRM, whether it be Follow Up Boss or Zillow Premier Agent or different places like that, my strongest suggestion is before you make any type of a brokerage engagement move, take your database with you. Export that information and take it with you, and then you can import it into the other side of the equation when you get to wherever it is that you're going to go. Just a little piece of advice, although you're never going to leave Century 21, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, so to that end, in front of you is, I have 3 handouts that I have given to everybody today, and for anybody who might be watching this at home, I'm going to show you exactly how to access all of this information. And what you have in front of you is an export guide. I'm sorry, thank you, Tracy. There's 3 of them right there. You have 3 things in front of you. One is how to export your contacts from your iPhone. And there are 3 different methods to do that, depending upon which setup you have within your iPhone. There's one to export all your contacts from your LinkedIn account. And that's going to put it into a CSV for all your LinkedIn contacts. And the third one is, and it's not labeled at the top, but it's the shortest one that you're seeing there. It's the 1 page, and that's how to get all your contacts out of your Gmail account. So if you have a personal Gmail account, you have a list of contacts of all the people that you have personally emailed ever, probably in your lifetime. Now, that list could be large, and it could also include your utility company, your water bill, all those other places that you've emailed or communicated with over time. So filtering is going to be necessary as part of this process. So what you have is the method by which to source all of the people on the planet who know who you are and who you know. Now that you can export them from other systems, now I'm going to talk to you about the ways in which you can import them back in. So actually, but before I do that, let me tell all of the people at home how to get to access this information. And it is simply right here in BrokerMint. You go to BrokerMint, library is where we keep the deposit of all things that might need accessed at some point in the future. Moxi contact import and export guides, and each one of these is a link to what you have in front of you there, the guides on how to export your contacts out of here. All right. So what that is going to eventually give you is something that looks much like you're going to see two things here. Bear with me, folks. All right. So the very first way for you to import contacts, let's cover the one that should be fairly easy and intuitive for everybody. Add people button up here in the top right corner, and you're going to add a single contact. This is very simply, this is not the import method doing it mass upload. This is you have one individual. A client reached out to you, the person that you stood across the gas station from this weekend and gave them your card and they gave you yours back. You take that back, you start putting in name, first name, last name, middle initial, everything that you can, what language they speak, phone number, email, address, everything that you can possibly record about this person, you absolutely should, including things like relationships. You want to put both the husband and the spouse in, you put one in and put the other one in as add a relationship spouse and put that person's name in. And now from evermore, if you search on Smith, and you'll see Mary and Jane Smith both, because they're both in there. Okay, you can put dates in, so you can put in things like birthdays, anniversaries, house-iversary being the time in which you helped them buy their last house. You can put in custom dates, but depending on your situation, okay? You can put in their social media links, and most importantly, you can designate them as one of a handful of groups as either being a personal contact, a collaborator, a past seller, or a past buyer. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? I'm going to cancel. And then I'm going to show you the other method with which we are major proponents of here. Hold on. Okay, add people, import contacts instead. And it's going to pull up this menu box, which gives you some basic instructions. All right. The first thing that you need is this file format in order for you to do the import is literally right there. Download that CSV file format, and that will download it. It'll put it down here in your downloads, and then you can go in and manipulate it. And what you're going to do is fill in these columns so that you're going to import. Okay. I'm going to come back to here because we're going to go straight over to the actual document in question. Actually, we already had it open. And that import template is going to look like this, and you're going to say, Jay, what the heck? It's an empty document. All it has is a couple of lines right here at the top. That is correct. That is exactly right. What your job is now take the 3 different CSVs that you got from LinkedIn, Gmail, and your iPhone exports that you have done. And now you have to put those 3 different spreadsheets into this format so that it can be imported into Excel very quickly and easily. It's not difficult. All it is a little bit of cutting and pasting, okay? So what you have to do then is take first name. You want to fill in all of the columns down here with no spaces in between, no empty lines. All right? So you're going to do that for first name, you're going to do that for last name, you're going to do that for street, and all of the information that you have. The more information you put in here, the better. All right? I was talking to somebody last week, and y'all know the metaphor specifically with regards to husbands and men in your lives. He who dies with the most toys wins. You've heard that before? All right. In the real estate world, he who dies with the largest real estate database wins. All right? Your goal is to put as many names into your database as humanly possible. Everybody on the planet who knows you and everybody who you know should be in there. So that's why I'm giving you all of these different sources, and you can use this same process to import lists from all kinds of sources. In addition to the ones that we've already talked about today, Tracy, you came here and your previous job was in a church. What did you do when you got here?
Uploaded them to the CRM.
You had a list of the people in your church, and you uploaded them here. Who else? I've had people that are like a recent college graduate. Here's all of my fraternity brothers. Great. Give me that list. We'll use the same process to import it into here. Your church group, your Sunday school group, your civic organization, your geographic farm. Okay? The Woodlands is my geographic farm. It's a great subdivision right up the road in Woodstock. I have 1,100 people. I went in, I did a download of all the people that lived in that subdivision using another resource that we have available to us, Cole Realty Resource. If anybody's interested, let me know. But then I did and imported in using this exact same process to bring everything in. All right, so now, do I digress and actually teach you how to do some basic cut and paste in Excel? Does anybody need that badly? Or is everybody pretty intuitive on that? The blank stares tell me what I need to know. All right, so let's show you another example. So this happens to be somebody's Excel spreadsheet that they had done as an Excel, and it is CSV, and what you see is a whole bunch of information filled out and a whole bunch of columns. Notice those columns don't necessarily match up with the format that needs to be imported. So here's the process. We're going to come to here. We are going to find the column in question with the first name. So we got addresses, owner first name, this column right here. Joseph. We are going to go down through here. We're going to cut this column. Control C, or if you need to, you can also do copy. And then we're going to come over to our spreadsheet. First name, Control V, or right click, paste. Okay? You're going to continue this process all the way down the line for middle name, last name, company if you've got it, home address, street, everything across the way, including birthday, anniversary, and the last column, of course, is the email address, and there's some notes, okay? Let me call your attention to one other category in here, or one other column in here, is this one called categories. When you do an import, if you put something in that category, say all of these people were from your LinkedIn account, you could put in under category LinkedIn. When you do the import, all of those people are going to be in a group that will be established for you called LinkedIn. Okay, so you can actually start sorting your people right here even before you import them by putting them in the appropriate group that you want them to be in. Does that make sense? Okay. And since we're talking about it, let me go ahead and show you some other little things within your people. Since we're talking about it, groups. I'm going to go to right here is edit groups. Let's have a little conversation about groups and why you want to have your groups set up. Groups help you to sort your people by who they are to you, by what source they came to from you, how you know them. And having your groups well established and have them set up and sorted will help you to refine your marketing messages. Let me give you some examples. Notice the types of groups that I have set up is things like agents, buyers, a Century 21 agent, a foundations agent. Notice the system, every time you do an import, it creates a group based off of the date and timestamp of when you imported them in, which allows you to go back in and further filter them if you needed to. But then you can also see, okay, if I've ever taken leads from Leads Engine, any lead that gets imported in, it automatically gets assigned to a group called Leads Engine, which allows you to then filter all of your contacts that you've gotten through our leads program, which is a great tool to be able to help you understand which ones you might have some follow-up to continue to do, right? All right. Then you've got past clients, and I've filtered mine in a rather unique way. I've got past clients and I filtered them by buyers, and if you go a little bit further down, I've got them also in there by sellers, and I've also put them in by the year I did business with them. Why do you think that is? What would that make a difference?
Because if they bought this year, they're probably not buying again.
Ding, ding, ding. But somebody that I helped to buy a house in 2015, that was 8 years ago. Statistically speaking, according to the National Association of Real Estate, everybody sells between 7 and 11 years. Guess what? They're prime. So now I could refine the marketing message that I'm sending to that group by going in and say, you know, there's some campaigns in there that are ready to downsize, ready to move up. You know, maybe they're now empty nesters and they're ready to go up into the mountains or something like that. Now I can create a marketing message through a campaign and assign it just to those people that I did business in 2015. But I wouldn't send that same message to people that I did business last year, right? Because they're probably not ready. So this is the tool that allows you to further refine your marketing and get it to the right people at the right time, okay? We had also talked about it briefly in the video, but the Categorize Wizard helps you to further refine and categorize your people and put them into a category as either a client or a non-client. If you put them in there as a client and you put them on a marketing plan, that's going to assign you some tasks to stay up to date on, which helps you ultimately as long as you manage those tasks and complete them as you go. We are quickly running out of time. What questions do you have? Yes, ma'am.
I got a really dumb question.
There is no such thing.
How do I get to this page?
You and I haven't done your full setup on your Moxi yet, so we don't have this started on you yet. Okay?
It's not so related to what you went over today, but let's say you assign people groups to campaigns.
Okay.
And you added new people to that group. Do they automatically get?
Great question. Yes, they do. So to everybody, if you didn't hear the question is, if you assign a campaign to a group, like you put a buyer's group and you call the buyer warm prospects campaign is assigned to anybody that you call a buyer. You meet me today, you put me into your CRM and you assign me to the group buyer. Then yes, I am going to then immediately be subscribed to the buyer campaign. And if the buyer campaign says the day after you put them in, that's when they're going to get their first email, that's when I'll get that first email.
But they have to be listed as buyer. What if I just add them under a group? Like let's say I made a new group for open houses and I added the people that I was able to add.
Mm-hmm. Then you can just go in and assign your open house group to that buyer campaign. Or you can just call all those people buyers. And if your buyer campaign is going to all the people in the group buyers, then they'll get it.
Okay.
So one thing that I've done to double check and make sure is I added somebody as a buyer, and then I went up and hit the refresh and looked at their thing, and you can see the campaigns that they're assigned to. And you can know exactly what they got assigned to. It's literally on your engage menu, actually, okay, here's a perfect example. Mr. John Claude Theodore was a sign call on a listing that I had recently, and I put him into here. And what you can see is I assigned him to the group buyer, and I also assigned him to the source. I have a group in here called sign call or listing, which tells me how he came to me. When I assigned him as a buyer in that group, it automatically went through and assigned him the 2 campaigns that I have set up to go to the buyer group, which is my Life at Home newsletter and the Holiday 2023 campaign. So I didn't go in and assign him to these. All I did was put him in the group, and the group was assigned these 2. Make sense?
Yeah. Now I just need to figure out, like, for example, how to put those 2 for anyone I add. Those 2 specifically. I'll see.
Yep, that's what we have the next 30 minutes for, is for me to stick around and for you guys to come to me and ask questions. I'll help you directly with whatever your particular situation is. And Chris, if we've got enough time and there's not a whole lot of people busy, you and I can set up yours in the next half hour if you want. All right? Any questions? I'm here for y'all. Let's go to work.